We are talking about how to spell long sounds at the end of words. We have covered vowel teams that help us. So to make the long A sound at the end of words, we use AY. For the E sound, EE. For the I sound, we use Y, and we remember that no English words actually end in the letter I. Last time, we talked about OE and OW and just the letter O, making the O sound at the end. And remember, OW is the most common way to spell the O sound at the end. OE usually just comes at the end of some very small words like dough and toe. And then we said that you can also end words with just the letter O, but again, not quite as common as OW. There's only one long vowel sound left at the end, and that's the long U. This word says flew. And what sound is that U making? Ooh, flew, ooh, ooh. Your lips should be kind of puckered up when you say that. Ooh. A long U can make two sounds. It can actually say the ooh sound, or it can say you. So they're very similar but slightly different. You can try doing them yourselves. Ooh, where your lips are all puckered out, or you. By the way, are American words allowed to end in I? Nope. And American words are not allowed to end in U. The only reason this word ends in U is because it's actually an abbreviation for the word influenza. So this is actually an abbreviation. People use it like a regular word because they don't like to say the whole word influenza, but this is not an actual word. So except for this word, when you hear you or ooh at the end, don't spell it with an open U because English words don't end in an open U at the end. Use a vowel team instead, like this. What word is it? You, few. What's making the U sound? It's the EW, which is also a vowel team. And what kind of syllable would we call it then? We wouldn't call it open, we wouldn't call it closed, but we would call it a, yes, vowel team syllable. Whenever you see a vowel team EW, it will make the U or OO sound. Let's look at another word. What does that word say? Chew. Right. Let's look at another one. What does that word say? Brew. And let's look one more. This one. Do. Good. Wait a minute. I think there's another way to spell that word. So let's look it up in your spell checker. I'll wait while you get your spell checker out and go ahead and open it up. Remember, you have to push clear to get rid of the demo words across it. And then type in DEW and push enter. Is there a flashing question mark at the end? Yes, there should be. So remember, when there's a flashing question mark, when there's a question mark, that means that there might be other ways to spell it, or that there are other ways to spell it. So press your question mark key at the bottom. It should tell you DEW means moisture, as in the dew that's on the grass. So go ahead and see how else that word can be spelled. Remember, if there's an arrow at the side, you can push the arrow key on your buttons at the bottom. So when you push the down arrow key, it should show you DO is a sight word that means act. So take a look at the next one. There's still another one. Push down again. You should see DUE means owed, as in the assignment is due in April. What's making the ooh sound in that word that you're seeing on your screen now? D-U-E. Ah, UE, that's right. And UE is actually another word team, another vowel team. So let's look up here and let's look and see what we've got. Look at this word. TR, ooh, true. So this time the ooh sound is being spelled with UE. The vowel team UE says ew, true. Look at this word. Let's divide this word. We can divide the other ones were only one syllable. These are two syllable. So let's divide this word into syllables. Think about where and how many. All right, so I see two red tiles, so two syllables. So the E goes that way, the UE goes this way, and then I have two left in the middle. So remember, one goes this way. He's not a bossy letter. He's not that kind of rotten letter. So they just split just like that. Now let's read the word. Rescue. Good. The word says rescue. What kind of syllable is the first one? Closed. And the last one? A vowel team syllable, right. What's the other vowel team that can say the oo sound? It's EW, that's right. And they're equally common. Half of the words use one, and half of all of our words use the other. So if you're not sure whether it's UE or EW, look it up. Let's try that right now. Let's say you get out your spell checker and we want to spell the word avenue. I live on Berry Avenue. So avenue is like a word for street. So, but I don't know, does it end in UE or EW? So let's go ahead and put that into your spell checker. Remember to hit clear. Type in the word AVEN. We can start with either one. How about we try EW first? AVENEW. So what do you see? Does it say that it's AVENEW? Or does it say corrected spelling and give you AVENUE? It should give you the UE one. So avenue is spelled with UE. So let's quickly review. Will you, the letter U, at the end ever be spelled in a word? No, not unless it's something like flu, which is an abbreviation, not a real word. So you will never have American words that end in the letter U. So what two vowel teams will you use? You will either use EW or UE. What will you do if you're not sure which one to use? Look it up. This is a great example of why and when to use your spell checker, because there is no rule that tells me for sure whether it will be UE or EW. So that's our lesson today. So we've now learned how to make the A sound at the end of words, the E sound at the end of words, the I sound at the end of words, the choices for the O sound at the end of words, and the choices for the oo or U sound at the end of words. So that should help us to spell a lot of things. And if I only have to look up whether it's UE or EW, then I've gotten pretty far in a word and I can almost spell it completely on my own. I just need to look up the last U sound. All right, remember American words don't end in what two letters? I and you. So don't ever finish spelling any of your words with I or you because that's just not right. Okay, we're done. You can put away your things.